Hi everyone, let's see how to solve this IGCSE Extended Mathematics exam question on vectors. And here it is. We're told, consider the two vectors u with components k minus 5, k minus 4, and v with components k minus 5, negative 1. And as we can see here, we have to do two things. First of all, we need to find k given that the magnitude or modulus of u is equal to the magnitude of v, and we're also told that the vectors v and u are not opposites of each other. And secondly, we'll need to check our answers by finding the magnitudes of u and v using the value or values of k that we've found. So let's go ahead. I'll start by quickly writing solution here. There we go. And now we can get started. Let me start by pointing out that as we read through these exam questions, you'll notice here that they're suggesting that we may find more than one value for k. Indeed, this s in parentheses here definitely suggests that. And when that happens, do know that there's a strong chance that we'll end up with a quadratic for k, and therefore we may have up to two different possibilities for k. So just keep that in mind. All right, now if I start with the first question, question 1, remember we need to find the value of k given that the magnitude of vector u is equal to the magnitude of vector v. All right, well let me start by quickly reminding you that if we have a vector, say u, with components that I'll just call x and y, then its magnitude of u, is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared. In other words, it's equal to the square root of the sum of the squares of the vector's components. And so using that for the two vectors we have here, we can go ahead and state that the magnitude of vector u is equal to the square root of k minus 5 squared plus k minus 4 squared. So if I quickly write that, that's k minus 5 in parentheses, be careful of that, needs to be in parentheses, squared, and plus k minus 4, again in parentheses, squared. There we go. Okay, now we'll take care of simplifying all of this in a minute. For now, let me quickly write something similar for the magnitude of vector v. So the magnitude of vector v, well, that will be equal to the square root of k minus 5 squared plus negative 1 squared. And again, make sure to write both of those in parentheses, so that's k minus 5 in parentheses squared plus negative 1 in parentheses squared. And all of that's under a square root. Now remember, we are told that these two magnitudes are equal. So that tells us that we can equate this square root to the one we have here. And so if I do that, that's the square root of k minus 5 squared plus k minus 4 squared, again that's under a square root, and that's equal to the square root of the expression we have here, which was k minus 5 squared plus negative 1 squared. There we go. Okay, now because the entire left-hand side is underneath a square root, and the same can be said for the right-hand side, indeed the entire right-hand side is under this square root here, we can square both sides of this equation to get rid of those square roots. And in doing so, this becomes k minus 5 in parentheses squared plus k minus 4 in parentheses squared, which equals to, well, k minus 5 in parentheses squared plus negative 1 in parentheses squared, which is just 1. Now looking at this equation, hopefully you can appreciate that we have k minus 5 in parentheses squared on both sides of it. And consequently, we can cancel those two k minus 5 squares out. And so this reduces to k minus 4 squared equals to 1. Now at this stage we have a couple of options, one of which would be to expand this pair of parentheses, which would lead to k squared minus 8k plus 16, and that would still equal to 1. Then we would gather all the terms on one side of the equation and solve the quadratic equation we'd end up with. But when faced with an equation like this one, the method I like to use, which definitely goes faster, is to use the fact that if k minus 4 squared equals to 1, then k minus 4 must be equal to plus or minus the square root of 1. And since the square root of 1, well, that's just equal to 1, this becomes k minus 4 has to equal to plus or minus 1. Again, if you don't like the step going from here to here, you could of course expand these parentheses, gather all the terms, and you'll end up with a quadratic equation to solve. But I would recommend following the step I just went through here, as with practice this definitely goes faster. That being said, I carry on. In fact, I'll bring my working all the way up here. There we go. And I'll quickly copy that last result. We had k minus 4 equals to plus or minus 1. Finally, to find what k is equal to, I need to get rid of this 4 that's being subtracted from the left-hand side. And so to get rid of it, I'll add 4, and I'll do that on both sides of the equation. And so this becomes k is equal to 4 plus or minus 1. And here, since we have plus or minus, we need to consider both possibilities. So let's see, one of them would therefore be k is equal to 4 minus 1. In other words, k is equal to 3. And the other possibility, well, that would be k equals to 4 plus 1. In other words, k would equal to 5. And so these two values of k are the solutions to the equation we started off with here. In other words, if we replace the k's we have inside the components of vectors u and v by either of these two values, then the magnitudes of vectors u and v will be equal. But now, remember, we were told in the question that vectors v and u are not opposites of each other, which definitely suggests that one of these two values of k won't do. And to figure out which one of those two values it is, all we have to do is go back to the original expressions we had for u and v and replace the k's that we have by 3 as well as by 5. So let's quickly do that. First of all, I'll let k equal to 3 to see what that looks like. Now, if k is equal to 3, then vector u would become 3 minus 5, which is negative 2, and 3 minus 4, which is negative 1. So if k equals to 3, vector u has components 3 minus 5, so negative 2, and 3 minus 4, which again is negative 1. Vector v, on the other hand, well, let's see, if k is equal to 3, vector v would become 3 minus 5, which is negative 2, and of course the y component would just be negative 1. So vector v would equal to negative 2 and negative 1. Notice here that these two vectors are equal, but they are not opposites of each other. So this definitely suggests that k equals to 3 is a valid solution. But let's quickly check what k equals to 5 gives us. So k equals to 5. Well, let's see, if k is equal to 5, vector u becomes 5 minus 5, which is 0, and 5 minus 4, which is 1. So if I quickly write that, vector u would have components 0 and 1, and vector v, on the other hand, well, if k equals to 5, would be 5 minus 5, which is 0, and negative 1 as the y component. So if I quickly write that, that would be 0, negative 1. And we notice here that in the case of k equals to 5, vectors u and v are definitely opposites of each other. So k equals to 5 will not do. And consequently, we can state that k must be equal to 3. And that's the answer. We've now found the value of k and therefore answered question 1. And so we move on to question 2. And let me quickly write that. We're moving on to question 2 here. There we go. And in question 2, remember, we were told to check our answers by finding the magnitudes of vectors u and v. Okay, well, following question 1, we know that the vectors u and v are the ones that I'm hovering over right now. And so using these components, which again are equal, as well as the formula for the magnitude of a vector, which I've reminded us of here, we can go ahead and state that the magnitude of u is equal to the magnitude of v. Indeed, we can state that clearly here because the two vectors are equal, and that's equal to the square root of the sum of the squares of the components. So that's negative 2 in parentheses squared plus negative 1 in parentheses squared. So let's see. That's equal to, well, negative 2 in parentheses squared gives us 4, plus negative 1 in parentheses squared, which gives us 1. So that's equal to the square root of 4 plus 1. In other words, the magnitude of u, which again is equal to the magnitude of v, is equal to the square root of 5. And we're done. We've now answered this IGCSE Extended Mathematics exam question on vectors. And let me say one last thing here. In this second part of the question here, we had to check our answers by finding the magnitudes of u and v. So the idea there was for us to check that the magnitudes of these two vectors were indeed equal. But in this particular example, given that the vectors u and v were equal, well, put simply, their magnitudes had to be equal. But for a test or an exam that you may sit, do know that it's perfectly possible for us to find a value of k such that the vectors u and v aren't equal, but their magnitudes are. In which case, the question 2 we have here would involve calculating the magnitudes of both the vectors u and the vectors v separately and showing that they're both equal to the same value at the end. There we go. I felt that was important to say for any of you who were wondering, well, what have we actually just checked here? So remember, the bigger picture in the second part of the question here is to check that both the magnitude of u and the magnitude of v are indeed equal, which in this case, again, they clearly were. And there we go. That's it for this tutorial.